Nation, and welcome to the nation's official post-game show. I am TJ Kern. That is Blake Hartsfield. Blake, I got to do it. They're leaving the conference. Horns down,
I
baby. No
love it.
15-yard penalty on me.
Absolutely. I love it, TJ. Anybody who's listened to our podcast knows how you and I feel about the University of Texas. And it feels good with them leaving the conference to get the last one down in Austin, our second home court, with their new arena, which, by the way, that thing, I know they downsized because they couldn't fill it up, but man, it looks like a high school stadium. It's pathetic down there.
Bad.
It's really bad. But the Red Raiders,
and not to mention, I towards the end of the game there, I texted you. I was like, I'm hearing some Raider power, and then all of a sudden, the guy on the microphone gets on there. Texas fight!
yeah,
I tried to drown out all the Raider power chants.
Like I said, it's our second home court whenever we play down there in basketball. But yeah, a great win tonight to start off the Grant McCasland era of Texas Tech basketball, 78-67 in Austin. TJ, I think it's very easy to look at this team, and they are significantly, I know it's early, but they are significantly better than last year's group. And to me, the biggest thing that stands out, other than Warren Washington, and we'll get to him, but the guard play is just night and day better. Obviously, Pop Isaacs has matured leaps and bounds. He doesn't turn the ball over nearly as much. His shot selection is much better. But then Joe Toussaint, I mean,
my guy.
He is everything that we wanted Davian Harmon to be, but he does everything better. He's under control. He gets us into the right plays. He runs the offense. He plays great defense. Just an upgrade at a like-for-like position. And I think this team's pretty good. They're well coached. We'll get into a lot of the nuances, but man, it feels good to start off 1-0, especially against the University of Texas. Absolutely.
Oh man, I mean, if there was one place for us to get a win, it'd start off Big 12 play. Austin, Texas, on their way out, especially after the way they kicked our butt in football.
Yeah, well, we don't need to talk about nice. that. This is not a time for that. Let's celebrate.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that was a nice comeback, for the Red Raider basketball team to go down there and take care of business tonight. And since you mentioned him, let's give the big fella some props. Let's talk a little Warren Washington tonight.
Outstanding, TJ. I don't know that he could have played a better game as I look over this box score here. 5 of 5 from the floor, 15 points, 3 blocks, a steal, only 3 rebounds, but we kind of group rebounded. And that's probably going to be the biggest weakness of this team. They're a little undersized, but Warren Washington played excellent tonight. The big fella got it done. Texas did not have an answer for him, whether it was Brock Cunningham, which how does that guy still have any eligibility left? It seems like he's like their basketball version of Jordan Shipley. He's been there forever, and I just can't stand the guy. Or, the other big that they had in there playing couldn't do anything. Do what?
What was it? Desisu?
Well, Disu, but then no, I'm talking about Shredrick or whatever his name, or Shredrick.
Okay, yeah, that guy.
He couldn't do anything against Washington. Disu isn't big enough to handle him. Well, Brock Cunningham fouled out of the game, and loved seeing that. But credit to Warren Washington, easily, TJ, the best big man.
How about Fran Fraschilla going off on Brock Cunningham's going to be in commercial real estate in Austin someday, making lots of money? I thought that was a great line.
I mean, I don't like the guy. I'll leave it at that. I don't think he's a very good basketball player. I kind of think he's a little just kind of a meathead that gets in there and tries to make things ugly. And I won't be missing him next season. Surely he won't be back for a 7th year. But like
Alan Bowman might have something to say about that.
And he might. Somehow he still has eligibility. But no, Warren Washington, easily the best big man Tech has had since
Tariq, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. He blocks shots, long, athletic. He's not a cumbersome big man that we've had the last couple of years where they don't move very well. He can move his feet. He's got some speed to him for his size, blocks shots, plays big. And I thought the footwork on the offensive end was pretty good as well. So a lot of credit to
the back to the basket stuff was nice to see.
A lot of credit to him tonight. He was outstanding.
And my guy JoJo Toussaint, Mr. Bronx, New York himself. Welcome to Lubbock, Texas. And if you ever want to endure yourself to Red Raider Nation, getting a win in Austin, getting on fire, hitting a heat check even in that first half, I thought his play was huge. I mean, I'm going to be honest, Blake. Texas had 5, 6, 7 point lead kind of early in that game, and we were kind of looking kind of bad in the first half, and we did not know what to expect. And I
No.
love the fight and the battle and the resolve of this team to get back in it. And Joe Toussaint was a big reason why today.
Yeah, absolutely. As for Toussaint, just a stat stuffing kind of night. 15 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 7 of 13 from the floor, 1 of 2 from three. Just a really solid, played good defense, just a really solid game overall. And kind of the walking embodiment of the culture I think Grant McCaslin's trying to establish here. He similar to his predecessors in Adams and Beard, he wants a culture of toughness. But what I see and the biggest difference to me, TJ, is the defense is close, right? It might not be quite as sharp without Adams over there being the defensive coordinator and just how meticulous he was about some of the defense and no middle stuff. The scheme's a little different, but they still play good defense. I'm not going to say it's top 10 in the country good, but it's still very, very good, serviceable defense. But the offensive side of the floor, and Fran Fraschilla talked a little bit about it tonight, where they're like a good pitcher in baseball with a fastball where they can shoot the three, a changeup where they can get out in transition, or a curveball where they can dump it inside or attack the basket. And the offensive flow, which we've complained about around here, going back to the Chris Beard days, was much better. They were running noticeable sets and different sets at that, and different variations of the same set throughout the game. And I think it was Fran Fraschilla actually posted something on Twitter last week where he highlighted McCasland, and they ran the same set 3 times and they adjusted it slightly and it worked every single time. And it's just things that you're seeing like that it's 100% coaching, but you're already seeing the fruits of the labor. And I think Texas Tech hit a home run with this hire.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it during the Adams debacle that Grant McCaslin was probably the lead guy leading up to that. And then, of course, takes UNT to the NIT, and then now he's in his first year in the 806, and now you're 12-2. All of a sudden, you get a big road win in the Big 12. You know those are hard to come by.
Quad one
And
win. That's what I care about.
it very much quad one win, building the resume. We talked about that last year so much that team just struggled getting wins. They were in some games last year and they just couldn't figure out how to finish. You and I talked about it via text during the game, and this team finished tonight. And Chance McMillan, I'm going to go out there and call Chance McMillan my guy for the season. I think he's going to be huge. I think he has no fear. I think he's a shooter that just likes to light it up and can get hot. And I texted you. I said, man, we need to get him a couple of good looks. And sure enough, he got into double digits.
Yeah, 2 of 4 from 3, 11 points, 3 or 4 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds off the bench. I mean, I love the fact that he's your sixth man. Instant offense, right? Start Kerwin Walton, who didn't do anything tonight, but I think that was more of an exception to the rule. I think Kerwin Walton's going to be better than he's been.
He'll get some looks.
Yeah, well, just based on how he's played in the run up to conference here and kind of the quote unquote preseason, he's played much better than he did last year under Adams. It seems like McCaslin, since they lost Evan Cambridge, which, by the way, was announced tonight by Fran Fraschilla that they're expecting him back next year, which is outstanding news. But since Cambridge has gone down, Walton has kind of stepped into that role along with Jennings. They're kind of splitting those minutes that would have gone to Devin Cambridge. And look, McCaslin's got him playing with confidence. He's playing better. Obviously, tonight he didn't score, but in non-conference he's looked good, and I thought Jennings also contributed a little bit this evening off the bench. Just hats off to McCaslin. I mean, you can just see the improvement, and without trying to get too far ahead of myself, and obviously tapping the brakes. It's one game in the Big 12, but this is not a game that the team last year wins by any stretch of the imagination. So really proud of this group. You know, I know we've highlighted everybody but Pops. Pops, obviously, most people are probably aware he had a tough weekend. He was getting the business tonight from the group down in Austin. Responded really, really well. 21 points, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 3 of 5 from 3. He seems to have broken out of his little shooting slump that he was in. outstanding,
And
especially
the shot
given
selection tonight for him
much
was a
better.
lot better. You're always going to get those uh, heat checks and different shots from Pop,
You
right?
got to
Like
live
Pop,
with it.
he's going to be 10 feet behind the 3 point line and let it rip, and we're going to go, "What are you doing?" And
You got to live
all
with it.
that. But you got to live with it because the guy's a straight up shooter.
Yeah, and like I said, I just think with everything going on that, and we're not going to get into that tonight. Um,
No,
I thought he played an outstanding game. He handled the pressure from the crowd. Um, I don't know that Pops last year is mentally tough enough to do what he was able to do tonight with everything going on around him. So you see that growth and credit to him. Outstanding tonight.
and getting the win without Devin Cambridge, I think, is a huge boost to this team. Not only for the fact that it shows that they can win a Big 12 game without Devin Cambridge, it shows they can win a Big 12 road game against a tough opponent and a ranked team as well. So, I mean, here we go,
At
right?
the
Like
end,
we talked on the pod, we both think just tap the brakes, enjoy the ride, try to get into the tournament. I don't care if it's a 3 seed or 11 seed. Grant McCaslin's first year got a late start building the program and getting into the tournament from the Big 12. It's anything can happen at that point.
well, and it would just be an outstanding first year. I think that it's a very achievable goal. And look, let's call a
It's not
spade
his
here.
goal, by the way.
Well, it should be. His goal is obviously bigger, yes, but I think
Right,
that should be
right.
the
Which is
minimum
what I was saying.
that should be the expectation around here is, you make the tournament 3 out of 4 years, right? We're not Kansas. We're not, you're probably not going to make it every single year, but 3 out of 4 years, and you make the Sweet 16 every 3 years. It's a really good program. But let's call a spade with what tonight was. Tonight, that's a resume building win. If it's early with bracketology, but they're out there, right? And a lot of the experts have had Tech in either the first 4 out or the next 4 out. This should put you solidly in the field at this point. Particularly if you take care of business at home Tuesday night against Oklahoma State. And I believe you're going to be in Lubbock for that one. But
I will. I
um,
will be in Lubbock for that one. Our good friend Ted Emmerich is going to be on the call for that one for ESPN. Don't know if it's on Plus or the Deuce or whatever. Usually, when we get into Big 12 play,
it's on
it's
somewhere.
it's on right. You can find it somewhere. So I did talk to our buddy, Michael from the Nation, invited me to come up since I'm free this week. Going to go up to Lubbock, catch a basketball game, and visit with our buddy Ted and set up the final pieces for us to have him on our podcast coming up, which will be next week after the game. So we'll coordinate that with Ted Emmerich from ESPN, get him on, get his thoughts of this team and this coaching staff and this change of scenery in the 806. And Blake, we're looking forward to these post-game shows here for the Nation, as this is just the first one as the Red Raiders get the victory tonight down in Austin. Like I said, I will be in Lubbock, so we will not be doing something similar to this for the next game against Oklahoma State, but we will be doing these the rest of the way. So the Nation's official post-game show. I am TJ. That is Blake. Blake, how do we get out of here, bud?
Wreck them.
Wreck them. Not only are we giving a guns up, horns down, baby.
Can't stand
We'll
the
talk to
University
you
of
guys next
Texas.
time.